Alright guys, I got two of the worst movies I ever saw. And I was looking at my DVDs and I got four of them. And there's some bad movies I've seen, but these four, they're hard to top. So starting with this one here, Illegal Aliens, with Anna Nicole Smith and China. You can see China here on the back. My webcam does this weird thing. If I get too close, it'll like flicker, so I'm trying to show it as best I can. This movie, I can't remember if I did a review or not. It was back when I was doing audio only videos. And this movie was so terrible, I wanted to do a review, but I thought I should wait until I have a webcam and maybe I can show clips from the movie. But yeah, because of the copyright stuff, I can't really show clips. So maybe one day if I have my own site and I can do like movie reviews, like Nostalgia Critic or something, I can put this out there. But yeah, this one is so bad, it deserves to have like a full-blown Nostalgia Critic review of it. It is just, oh man, so cheesy. Let's see, here's another one, Brutal. This has this guy in it from The Hills Have Eyes, and it is just so cheesy, so lame. If you watch this, you instantly put it in, and it's one of those movies where you look at the cover and it looks good, and you look at the back and it sounds good, and you put it in and you're like, oh, I got taken. It's a shitty movie. It's like a D movie, and there's just some scenes in here. I'll probably do a review of this one, just because it is really bad, and there's some stuff, there's so many funny moments. I'd like to go into like more detail about it. Here's another one, Tears of Kali. This movie is pretty terrible, but it's not, I would say maybe it's a little bit better than Brutal, just because there's one scene where this guy, I can't remember what happens, it's been years. What year is this? 2006. There's this scene where a guy tells a psychiatrist he feels like he's jumping out of his skin, and the psychiatrist hypnotizes him and makes him cut his skin off with a box cutter. It had a cool scene like that in it, but yeah, this movie's horrible. It's so stupid. And the worst, one of the worst, is The Wickeds. This movie's bad. It sucks. It has no idea if it wants to be a haunted house movie, a zombie movie, a vampire movie, and it's got Ron Jeremy in it, and he actually autographed this one. I saw him in person. He autographed the DVD, and he could not believe anybody had this. I went with my ex-girlfriend, so it's autographed to her, but I had the DVD, and I said, hey, let's get him to sign this, so we brought it. And she handed it to him, he signed it and everything, and he could not believe anybody owned this. And I knew I would get that reaction if I brought it, so I definitely had to take this one. By the way, his handwriting is atrocious. If you can see this, look at how bad that is. Like, my handwriting sucks too, but yeah, he signed it twice, so. It was funny seeing Ron Jeremy. This was back in like October of last year too, that I got that signed. He was wearing like these he was wearing these pants with his name airbrushed on the side of it. It was strange. Okay, so those are some of my worst movies. Are you a fan of 2.5 Men? Not really. I never got into that show. I did start to get into it when they would play like reruns and stuff, and I liked Charlie Sheen's character. I did not like that John Cryer guy. I thought his character, Alan is his name, I believe, was really annoying. And once they decided to kill Charlie Sheen off and bring in Ashton Kutcher, I was like, hell no, man, I'm not getting into this. So I was never a big fan to begin with, but definitely not now. Who is your favorite Joker, Ledger or Nicholson? Gotta be Heath Ledger. I think he pretty much owns that role now. Abdullah Sam, I love Paul Heyman. The guy knows about wrestling. Check out his interview on OTR. What do you think about him becoming general manager of Raw? I think it would be entertaining for him to do that. I'm not really sure how they would work that storyline wise right now, but I would be entertained by it. I like Paul Heyman. I'm definitely a Paul Heyman guy. I think he's got a great mind for the business, and he's one of the best guys out there, along with Jim Cornette. I know a lot of people don't care for Jim Cornette anymore, but I'm still a big fan of his. What do you think about the hardcore title being brought back? The reason being there's not enough belts in WWE. I'd love Dean Ambrose to get it and for him to move up from there. Dean Ambrose getting a run with the hardcore title would be awesome. Bringing back the hardcore title in any capacity would be awesome. The trash cans, the trash can lids, the chairs, the fighting backstage, I would love to see that brought back. I'm a big fan of hardcore wrestling. I'm not saying that's the only wrestling I'll watch. I like all types of wrestling, lucha libre, Japanese wrestling, anything. But hardcore wrestling is definitely my favorite. I've always liked it since ECW, CZW, deathmatch wrestling. I would love to see that in WWE. But of course, in this era, it's going to be tough to pull that off. Probably do some lame-ass gimmicks in those matches. Kind of like Cena and Alberto Del Rio fighting with the Christmas presents. I'm a big fan of the Attitude Era. I started watching WWE again after Mania 28. But one thing really pisses me off. The old stars coming back and ruining the upcoming stars' careers like I love Ziggler, etc. I don't know. I mean, I agree that returning stars should be used for that, to get some buys. They shouldn't be put over the younger talent. In The Rock versus Cena's case, I'm glad The Rock went over. I don't think that hurts Cena at all. Cena's been built up like a Superman. Losing to The Rock is not going to kill him. And I don't think The Rock really hurt anybody. I think The Rock coming back made them all money. I mean, they all made more money because of The Rock. They can only thank him for that. And I can't really think of any returning stars in WWE that have really taken over the spotlight that would bother me. I guess you could make an argument Big Show getting a run with the title when they could have had a younger guy carry the belt, but I thought he did fine as a heel. So I don't really see that as a big problem in WWE. That's more of a TNA problem, in my opinion, with Hogan taking the spotlight, Sting taking the spotlight, RVD. Stuff like that is definitely a bigger problem in TNA. Abdul Sam, Dolph Ziggler is one of the best athletes, period. What do you think of him becoming WWE champion? I would love to see Dolph Ziggler get a run with the WWE title. I think he's more than deserving. He busts his ass. He's good on the mic. He's constantly trying to improve. He loves the business. He said in interviews before he's not just trying to make money and just do his job. He wants to be the best of all time. And he's very ambitious, and he's got goals, and I respect him for that. And I would love to see him achieve them. The Rock versus Taker at Mania 29. That would be a fun match. Nothing would really get accomplished because The Rock's going to leave and Taker's going to be gone for at least a year if he's able to come back after his injuries and everything. So it would be a fun match, though. It would kind of be like a nostalgic match. But yeah, nothing would really be accomplished, but I would enjoy watching that. Orton versus CM Punk, Mania 29 for the WWE title. We've seen CM Punk face Randy Orton before, and unless they're going to change something up here, I don't really care to see that. Orton would put on the same babyface match he always does, and I'm not saying it would be a bad match. A Punk-Orton match would be good, but that would definitely not make me say, hey, I need to buy WrestleMania. I'd much rather see Orton turn heel and feud with Sheamus or something. Daniel Cosme. Will Cena turn heel? Probably not. I would like to see it happen. I really thought last year was the time that Cena was going to turn heel. This was it, if they were ever going to do it. And now I feel like you never know with Rock. If he loses to Cena and Cena wins the title at WrestleMania, Cena's just going to get so much heat for that. They might as well turn him heel, but it's still one of those things I cannot see them doing it. I just can't. I mean, can you really see Cena as a heel? It would be fantastic if they did, though. CM Punk or Stone Cold? I guess of all time, if that's what you're asking, I would have to say Stone Cold still. CM Punk is great, but he's obviously no Stone Cold. Who will win Royal Rumble 2013? I predicted Cena, unfortunately, and that is who won. Can CM Punk end Undertaker's streak? I don't think anybody can end Undertaker's streak. So I'm going to have to say no on that one. It would be a good match, but yeah, I don't see any point in ending Undertaker's streak, and I don't see anybody who they would bring in to end it unless it was some new young guy that they really felt deserved that. And CM Punk has said he's thinking of retiring in 2015, so it wouldn't make sense to have Punk beat Undertaker, especially after they gave him the belt for over a year. He doesn't need to beat the streak on top of that, and I just can't see anybody else the company would have that much faith in to have Taker do the job at WrestleMania. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Wrestling Fortune 44, what is your favorite match of all time? A lot of great matches in WWE. Like I said, The Rock versus Mankind and an I Quit match, but I also really liked the first Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels, Taker Mankind Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon, a ladder match. A lot of great matches, but yeah, I have to go with Mankind Rock. Do you watch the Wrestling Gurus? I'm not sure who that is, to be honest with you. I've seen a few different people on YouTube who do wrestling reviews and things like that, but I can't picture who that is right now. If you could face any wrestler from any company, who would it be and why? If it's like a legit fight, probably someone like Gilbert or Grizzly Redwood. But if it's just to put on like a match, I would say Undertaker. I mean, that would be awesome. Even if it sucked because of me, I could still say I wrestled The Undertaker. Keep losing my place here. Owen the Talkinator, what would you think if they made a movie called Michael Myers vs. Jason Voorhees, and who do you think would win and why? That would be a pretty entertaining movie, I guess, as a fan of both those horror franchises. But I think it's pretty obvious Jason would win because he is immortal. He's basically a zombie with super strength, and Michael Myers is technically a human, so Jason would win. If you could watch any two people in the world fight, which two would it be? Oh man, that is a tough one. You know, I would like to see that Kevin Nash Ultimate Warrior fight. I think that would be pretty entertaining. And can you go to bed right now? I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Okay, CM Brothers, have you ever been to a wrestling event? I've been to some Ring of Honor events. I've been to some local indie shows, but I have never been to a big WWE event. Every time I think I'm going to go, I get close to buying. They were in Asheville a couple times last year, and I thought about going, but it's those prices, man. Those WWE prices. If I go to a Ring of Honor show, I pay like $30 a ticket, and I sit third row. WWE, I'd be in the nosebleeds. I can't enjoy a show if I have to sit that far away. I feel like I'm just too far from the action. It's still kind of cool, I guess, if you're seeing the guys there, but I want to be close, and with WWE, it costs an arm and a leg to get close. Now, TNA is a show I will probably go to very soon. I was going to go to a TNA show, but it was back when they were doing the TV tapings. So they did the tapings, and they were advertising it at the bottom of the screen when I was watching Impact, and I was like, holy shit, that's pretty close. I'll look up the tickets and see about going, and then I look it up, and the show had already happened, the house show. So if TNA comes pretty close to my area, I will probably go to one of their shows, especially since I heard the house shows are really good. But WWE, if I have a lot of extra money and I can get some pretty good seats, I will go to one of their shows. I mean, I would love to go, but that's just a lot of money when I can spend the same amount of money for one WWE ticket. I can spend that much at a Ring of Honor show, autographs, tickets, or autographs, t-shirts, good seats. It's just a much better experience. Have you ever been to a wrestling? How many more years do you think Sting has? As many as they keep throwing money at him. I mean, they're going to keep bringing him back. It's not like he's wowing people in the ring, so I don't... The only reason they're bringing him back is because of his name. And I think he's got as many years as he wants to keep working. I don't think TNA will ever stop. What is the worst and best video game you've ever played? Some of my favorite video games are... The best is probably Ocarina of Time, but some of my favorites are the Mario franchise, Mario Brothers 3, one of the best. Worst? Recently, The Sims 3 for the Nintendo Wii was just complete trash. I love the franchise, and I got that game, and it's pretty much unplayable. In The Sims, you have to... Your character ages, and you go get a job, you build your house, you put things in your house. And in this game, your character dies in like a fucking week, so the game's unplayable. There's no code to change it. There's nothing you can do. You're just constantly dying and losing everything. It's a horrible game. There was another game for the GameCube that was pretty lame. I can't remember what it was called. Darkened Skies or something. And it was one of the first GameCube games, and it was based on Skittles, the actual candy. But it was like an RPG type game, an action RPG, and it was still better than The Sims because at least it was somewhat playable. I'm sure there's worse video games. I just can't really think of any right now. WCW Backstage Assault was pretty bad. What was the best and worst movie you've ever watched? Well, I just did some of my worst movies. Some of the best, I like Jaws, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, the classic movies like that. Sin City's one of my favorites. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. House of a Thousand Corpses is one of my favorites. The original Halloween. Yeah, there's a lot. It's hard for me to pick like the best movie though. Jersey 12361. What was your greatest wrestling match of all time from ECW, WWE, and WCW? ECW would probably be Terry Funk versus Sabu in a barbed wire match. WWE, there's a lot of matches I've listed. The Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels ladder, Mankind Rock, I Quit. And WCW, one of my favorite little runs they did with Raven, Chris Benoit, and DDP. They were doing the hardcore stuff in WCW. I really love those matches. That was great and one of the best parts of the pay-per-views of that era for me. War Games was a fun show too. The War Games matches. World War III I thought was a good idea on paper, but when I would actually watch the World War III pay-per-views in WCW, they were just impossible to follow what was happening. Just way too much going on at once. But War Games was some good matches. Do a Psych review. I've watched some Psych kind of when other people are watching it, but I personally don't really watch it myself. It's funny though, what I've seen. I'm just not big on crime shows. I feel like there's so many of them. All the CSIs and all the Law and Orders and stuff. I don't really watch that type of stuff. Honor and Power 311. Do you think that AJ Lee can compete for the Divas Championship at WrestleMania 29 if she is scheduled to turn face by then, after maybe starting a feud with Caitlyn or whichever Diva has the title by then? I don't think they're going to do anything like that. I think it would be rushed. Right now they seem to be focused on AJ Lee, Dolph Ziggler, and Big E, and I think they're going to keep that team going into WrestleMania. Plus, Caitlyn is a face, so there would be no reason for them to turn AJ Lee face and turn Caitlyn heel. So I kind of don't see that happening at Mania. Dakota Pullen. I've always been wondering how much theater price is for you because you always say wait for the DVD, but a DVD is $20 and my local theater is $6 for the matinee and $8 for afterwards. Although there is a theater farther away, but I don't think it's more than a $20 DVD. So I just wonder how much theater price is for you. I've seen this question before on some of my videos. I know what you're talking about, but what I mean when I say wait for the DVD is get it from Redbox, which is only $1. I don't mean actually buy the DVD. If I'm saying, I would only say buy the DVD if the movie was fantastic. I mean, I'm talking amazing. $20 is a lot of money for a movie. If I said, like, wait for the DVD, don't go see it in theaters, that would mean I think the movie's better. So, yeah, that's not what I mean by that. I mean rent the movie. Wait for it to come out on DVD and go rent it from Blockbuster, Redbox, Netflix, that shit. But, yeah, don't go spend $8 to watch in the theater. So that's what I mean by that. Sorry for the confusion. And do you have Xbox or PS3, or are you just strictly Nintendo? Strictly Nintendo. I've been that way my entire life. I'm 28, and it's like that episode of Always Sunny with Mac. I'm set in my ways. I'm an American, and that's how I can, I can go against the facts no matter how many are presented towards me or whatever he says. No matter what the facts are, I'm dug in. So I've been a fan of Nintendo my entire life, and I'm not going to change that. I may get a console because at this point you kind of have to, but with the Wii U, I'm willing to give the Wii U a shot, and it looks like they're finally going to get the games I've been missing out on, so I'm willing to give that a chance and stick with Nintendo. I'm not saying I'll never get an Xbox or a PlayStation 3, but I will always be a loyal Nintendo fan. And I can admit that Xbox 360 is the better system right now in comparison to the Wii. PlayStation 3 is better as well, just better online. I like the achievements the Xbox has. They get better games. I can admit that they're better than Nintendo, but I'm still a Nintendo fan. I like Zelda. I like Mario. I like the Nintendo franchises, Mario Kart and stuff. So I'm kind of just set in my ways as far as that goes. Dakota Pullen. And do you watch the Joe Schmo show? Because you remind me a lot of that guy, and I think it's the perfect show for you to review. I guess you're talking about Chase. That's kind of funny. I watched the Joe Schmo show, and I enjoyed it. I thought about doing reviews for it, but then I can't really, what would I say? Because it's not a real reality show. It's a fake reality show. So the eliminations are predetermined. So I can't really think of how I would do a review for that show that would be longer than 2 minutes. But it is a good show. I have my DVR set to record it. And if you like Joe Schmo show, you would probably like King of the Nerds on TBS. That one's pretty good too. That's one I've been watching. Qasim Ali. WWE is great at this time of year. It's WrestleMania season, obviously. I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. Should be a great show. 2012 was a decent year for the WWE, but didn't like the goofy things on some shows. TNA has had a decent year also. I didn't like AJ and Dixie's storyline. It was terrible. ROH is going in the right direction with Richards versus Elgin was match of the year by far. Looking forward to Steen and Lethal's feud. It will get a great build up on a TV show in a month and a half. Yeah, I agree. I think Ring of Honor is going in a positive direction. I think TNA, I don't even know about a decent year. I think they've turned a lot of people off with the Aces and Eights angle. And WWE, usually I am excited for WrestleMania season, but for some reason this year it seems like they're slacking off. I'm not as excited as I normally am. And I feel like it doesn't really feel like WrestleMania season yet, even though the Royal Rumble is already over. It still doesn't really feel like WrestleMania season to me. Honor and Power 311. If you were able to remake the 20th anniversary of Raw, what parts would you add, remove, or keep? Oh no, I'm trying to go back and remember that show. 20th anniversary of Raw. I just remember they didn't have any names. There were no big surprises, no Steve Austin, nothing. And I would definitely try to bring in some names, some guys returning. Look, I know Undertaker is injured, but are you telling me he can't just show up to shows now at all? I mean, maybe get Taker to do something. A backstage promo filmed at his house. Anything. I don't know. Be creative. But yeah, I think they should have got some returning superstars. And that's what I would add to the show. I can't really remember any matches, but the 20th anniversary show was pretty disappointing. Who's your favorite Isaiah1231CPNYC? Who's your favorite YouTuber and what kind of vids do you watch? I watch all types of stuff, like I said earlier. My favorite would probably be the Angry Video Game Nerd. I've just been a fan of his for years and years. And I'm not too crazy about the skits and the Rob episode where Rob was shooting things. I'm not too crazy about all that. I just like him playing the video games. I watch some Let's Plays from people, different video games and stuff. I watch a lot of Xbox, PlayStation Let's Plays because they're games I can't play myself. So I watch people play BioShock and Dead Space and all this shit I wish I could play. What else was there? I'll go through phases. I'll watch a lot of videos from certain YouTubers, like the Hodge Twins, for example. I'll watch some of their stuff for about a week and watch a bunch of it, and then I kind of just like stop watching it for a while. And then in a few months or a year, I'll go back to the channel and watch some of their stuff again. I like the RVD Tito for Life guys, Bill and Doug. I like their videos, but they just do not put enough out, I think. And I know they're busy with their lives and everything. They have their last video is like 3 months, 4 months old, and it was them talking on the phone about some of the current stuff in wrestling. And I like their videos, and I know they're busy. I think one of them just had a kid. Maybe they both had kids. I can't remember exactly. But seriously, take some time to sit and talk on the phone about wrestling. I think you could pull that off once a month at least. Stops copies me 91. Do you like Let's Plays? Would you ever consider doing one? Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about doing Let's Plays. Obviously, being a big fan of Let's Plays myself, that's one of the first things I wanted to do on my own YouTube channel. But then you have all this copyright stuff, and if you get like one strike, YouTube limits you to only 15-minute videos, and that would really hurt me. If I could only make videos 15 minutes long, especially for some of my movie reviews, even this Q&A video, because I'm going to try to upload this as one whole part, so it's going to be like almost 3 hours or something. And YouTube will give you a strike if you use game footage. They're really weird. Like, even if you own the footage, the music could be copyrighted. It's all types of crazy stuff. I don't know how some people get away with it. I know they have that guy, what is his name? He does the Call of Duty videos. He's hugely popular. It's White Boy or something like that. I don't know how he gets away with it. I don't know why some people are allowed to do it and some people aren't allowed to do it. I guess a lot of people use the Machinima connection, but then you see people like the White Boy guy who doesn't use it. So why is he allowed to upload copyrighted videos and then other people get a strike? And because I have no idea why, I'm not going to take the risk and do it. So I don't do music, I don't use pictures, I don't do anything on this channel that could put me at risk of getting a strike and going down to that limit. But that's why I was thinking I could start a second channel when I get some more time and do Let's Plays on there, and then see what happens. Maybe I'll figure this whole thing out, how I can actually do some video game playthroughs and not get a strike. Napalm Bombs. Do you believe that the WWE has become lazy with their booking because they know The Rock is drawing ratings on his own without them having to add much creativity to the show? This question is especially directed towards the lackluster 20th year anniversary of Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I think I mentioned this earlier. That's their biggest problem, is they're so lazy because they're the only show in town, and they know that TNA is not a threat. So I think they're definitely lazy. They have The Rock. I don't know if they're lazy because they have The Rock. I think they're just lazy in general. Like, even trying to come up with stuff for The Rock this year. Like I said earlier, it feels like it's been really generic and scripted, and they haven't really been trying. And last year it felt like WrestleMania. This year it still doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. And when The Rock was doing that stuff backstage with the cops and trying to get into the arena, the jokes were bad. The stuff they're giving The Rock to say hasn't been very good. And it feels like they're really, really not trying. And maybe they say, hey, we got The Rock, we got Brock Lesnar, we got all this stuff, we possibly Undertaker. This Mania is going to draw no matter what the fuck we do. Maybe they do feel that way. I don't know. I would like to think they don't and actually care. But you never know what's going on with WWE. Napalm Bombs, is Wade Barrett beating Orton clean on Raw more of a sign that WWE is still punishing Orton for failing the wellness policy, or is it more of a sign of a Wade Barrett push? I actually think that Orton, even though he's still protected, isn't as protected as he once was in WWE. I think they're willing to put guys over Orton now, but even with that win, Orton still beat Barrett recently. I think on Raw he beat him. So it's kind of one of those things, hey, he gets a win, I get a win, nothing changes. Which sucks. And really accomplishes nothing. So, I don't know, but I think they're just kind of using Orton for a smaller role. He's not in the main event picture or anything right now, and I think that's good. And even when he was in the main event, it's not like he was really a big draw anyway. So maybe WWE has finally realized that. With Eve Torres leaving WWE, do you think they will pull a trigger on a possible Kaitlyn-AJ Lee feud? They were both friends on NXT or something like that, right? I don't know. I didn't watch the show. I don't watch NXT either. I just remember AJ loving to bitch slap Kaitlyn with every opportunity she got on SmackDown. I love that. That was awesome. I liked the bitch slaps. I liked Eve bitch slapping Teddy Long too. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to do Kaitlyn AJ. They could, but it seems like right now they want to keep AJ with Dolph and Big E and keep the focus on Dolph Ziggler, which is what they should be doing. Maybe after that, maybe after WrestleMania, they can start to do something with AJ and Kaitlyn. Maybe once Dolph cashes in and wins the title. God, if he doesn't win the title. If he wins the title, and maybe have AJ go after Kaitlyn then, and have like a power couple gimmick. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. I know this question may seem long overdue, but because I haven't kept up with the show much lately because of football, I'm asking this. Why did Dolph decide to ditch Vicky after all of the time he spent with her as soon as she got general manager powers, and then gets with AJ when obviously she lost her general manager powers? Seems like a downgrade for someone who wants championship opportunities. That is using too much logic for the WWE right there, because I thought the same thing. It doesn't make sense when Vicky can help him. The only thing I can think of is WWE wanted to put AJ with Dolph, wanted to get Vicky away from Dolph to try to move him as more of a solo guy, which they did the complete opposite of. Now he has even more people with him at ringside. And they just decided that even though Dolph and Vicky were together for a long time, this is what they wanted to do. And instead of building towards this split, because of all the years they had invested together, they just decided, screw it, we're just going to split them up and not really explain why. I guess the fans can come to their own conclusions and say they split up because AJ's hotter. That's what I thought anyways. It's an obvious thing. But yeah, WWE never really explained anything further. Justin J. Peasy. Question 1. Can you do some more movie reviews? Yeah, I definitely have gotten behind on my movie reviews, but I plan to do some more of those in the future. 2. Do you take road trips to other states and stuff? When my ex-girlfriend lived with me and she was originally from Texas, we would actually drive to Texas and go through a lot of states then. So I did take a lot of road trips. I ended up making that trip about 10 times, driving to Texas and back. I've been to a lot of states, not really a road trip driving there, just flying. California. My sister lives in California, so I've gone there. New York. My grandma was from Philadelphia, so we went there one time when I was like really little. Florida, of course, all the southern states, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. Where else have I gone to? Yeah, that's New Jersey, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I plan to go to Las Vegas sometime soon, hopefully. That would be awesome. But yeah, I like road trips. Driving to Texas was, from North Carolina to Texas, Dallas, was like a whole day. I can make it in one day, but you have to drive early in the morning till about 10 at night. And it is just, it sucks driving, making it in one day. Can you do music reviews and review your DVDs and CDs? I've done a few videos on my DVD collection, but yeah, I definitely plan to do more of those, like my horror movie DVDs. I don't know if I can do music reviews because I feel like I would have to sit down and listen to the CD a few times before I could do a review, and I don't really buy CDs anymore, and there's nothing out there that I really want to go buy. If I want to listen to it, I look it up on YouTube, so I can't really do music reviews. And my CD collection is something I'd like to do in the future because I do have a lot of CDs back when I bought them. But as far as like new music, I'm not really sure if I could do something like that. What are your top 10 favorite TV shows of all time? Married with Children, Scrubs, Seinfeld, Lost, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Dexter, King of the Hill. I'm trying to think all time here. All time. Oh man. I'm trying to think of some stuff from when I was younger that I really liked, that I would also consider some of the best of all time. I really liked All in the Family. I think that was a great show. I've seen every episode of Three's Company. What else? And Living Color was a good show. I liked Mad TV. South Park was great for a while there. I still think they're pretty good at what they do as far as like poking fun at current events. But I honestly haven't watched South Park in a few years. I think the last one I watched was that Jersey Shore episode. But Rescue Me was a great show. Louis C.K. show. Modern Family is a show I like, mostly because of Al Bundy. And yeah, that's, I don't know, it's hard for me to think of greatest of all time because I'm always saying, oh, does that really deserve to be greatest of all time? So I'm just trying to pick some of my favorite shows there. What's your top 10 favorite type of foods? Huge barbecue fan. My favorite meal is just okra, steak, mashed potatoes. That is my absolute favorite meal. I think I could eat that every day. Squash, fried squash, obviously. Yeah, just southern foods. Mexican food, Asian food, Italian food. I'll eat a lot of stuff, but as far as actually going out, I'm really picky when it comes to that because I have what I like and I'm kind of set on that. So for example, if I go to Taco Bell, I have gotten the same thing at Taco Bell for years, basically my entire life. I'll get a Mexican pizza and 2 hard tacos. Now I get a Mexican pizza and 2 Doritos tacos, but I've gotten that same meal my entire life. Never anything else, not once. So I kind of like find something I like, and I don't really try any of the other stuff. I have like my key foods at every place. If I go to a steakhouse, I know what I'm going to get there. Unless they have barbecue, sometimes I'll switch it up with the barbecue. So I'm kind of like, I like a lot of different places, but one meal at each place, if that makes any sense. Like Denny's, I'm a sampler guy. Sometimes I'll get a Grand Slam for breakfast, but I'm a sampler guy. I'll add shrimp on the side. I'll get the seasoned fries instead of onion rings, chicken tenders, and mozzarella sticks, and that is like my favorite Denny's meal right there. I used to like the shrimp, but they canceled it. I don't know why. It was like a shrimp meal you could get with mashed potatoes, and they stopped having it at Denny's. Do you see Kevin Steen going to TNA or WWE? I think I watched a shoot interview with Kevin Steen where he said that he would like to go. He needs to lose some weight to get in better shape, and he feels bad because he feels like he could have been there and made a lot of money had he taken better care of himself. And I think he has all the talent and skills to go to one of those companies. It's just the look. He does have... I mean, if they told the Briscoes they weren't cosmetically pleasing, I just think that Steen's going to get the same reaction. And even though wrestling fans don't really care about that, we would like to see Kevin Steen make some money in WWE. We all know how WWE operates. But I do see him going eventually. Do you see them making a stable with CM Punk, Heyman, and The Shield? I'm not really sure about that. I mean, I guess they could. I feel like they're kind of busy right now with Heyman, Punk, Lesnar, all this stuff that's going on. Heyman didn't come out with Punk on Raw, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that relationship. I guess we have to wait and see. I really couldn't tell you that, because with The Shield feuding with Cena, the Brad Maddox thing, Heyman and Lesnar, CM Punk and The Rock, there's just a lot going on with each member to where I don't know if we're ever going to see that key stable moment where they're all like on the entrance ramp together or anything. It would be cool to see though. Make sure I got all those questions. Isaiah1231 CPNYC. I don't know if this is far-fetched, but I'm dying to see Taker return as Big Evil. I like the Deadman gimmick. Is getting a bit stale, and he will get huge pops if he returns as Big Evil. And by the way, Undertaker versus Lesnar at Mania 30 really has to happen. I'd like to see Lesnar versus Taker. I think it could be great. If Taker's injured, I don't know if he's going to want to go out there and have Brock throw him around. I mean, look at Brock. He threw that damn chair at Miz's face on Raw. Oh, that was awesome. But, yeah, I would like to see Lesnar versus Taker. I would never really like that Big Evil gimmick. I could see people freaking out for it, and at this point in his career, if Taker wants to go back to that, it could be fun to see again him come out with a motorcycle. But I was never a big fan of that. I like the mystique of The Undertaker, where he was the dead man, and he had the gray gloves, he had the purple gloves, then he was the Ministry of Darkness, he was this imposing figure, and then he just turned into like a regular guy on a motorcycle, and with Limp Bizkit as his music, and I just did not like that. He still had a good run though. He put on some great matches. I like the Last Ride Powerbomb and everything, but I just personally wasn't a big fan of Big Evil, but it would be entertaining to see him return as Big Evil, I have to say. I mean, it's not like I'd have to watch him do that every week, so for like a one-time shot, it wouldn't bother me. HorrorFan34. Okay, this is kind of like the same question, but a little different. Are you a big fan of Batman? If so, what is your favorite Batman film? I don't know if I'd say I'm a big fan of Batman. Favorite Batman movie? I like the originals with Michael Keaton, and I would have to say my favorite would be The Dark Knight Rises. I just think that's the best Batman movie. But because that's kind of like a given, and everybody's going to say that, out of the others, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, I'd have to say Batman Forever because I really like Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I remember being a young kid watching that one in theaters and just thinking it was awesome. So, who else was in that one? Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Was that it? Two-Face and the Riddler? I feel like there was somebody else in that one. Batman and Robin was pretty bad, but I did like Bane. I was a big fan of him as a villain, so I thought it was cool to see Bane and Batman and Robin. Saw that one in theaters too. Name 2 of the worst films you ever saw. I did that already. And top 5 bands would have to be... Oh man, once again, this is tough because I feel like I'm trying to say the top 5 best of all time in my opinion, and I really can't do that. Some, like off the top of my head, some of my favorites are Queen, Alkaline Trio, Blink-182. I like Danzig. I like Nine Inch Nails. Guns N' Roses was a great band. I don't really care for the new stuff. I like NoFX as far as sticking with what they say and never really trying to get on MTV or anything. I really like NoFX, the Ramones. Yeah, I really have to go through my CD collection for some of this stuff. Oh boy. Yeah, I think that's pretty good right there. I can't really think of anything else. Smashing Pumpkins. Trying to think of anything newer. Yeah, I can't really think of anything newer off the top of my head. Ballser77, will you ever do the fishbowl drawing for a movie review? I know the answer, but what the hell, LOL. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's not a no. Right now I have to catch up on the old horror movie series, and then if I can compile, and I'm talking, take a lot of time, go through, write down all these movies that have been requested, which is going to take a long time in itself, and then make the fishbowl raffle. Then I might be able to do that once I'm caught up on everything else. So it might happen, but not anytime soon, unfortunately, and I apologize for that. It's something I would like to do, but this is a one-man operation here. Isaiah 1231CP NYC. What do you think about Punk versus Taker at WrestleMania 30? That's something I would like to see, and I know it's all hinging on Taker being able to pull this off. If he's too injured, if he can go out there and work and put on a match of his quality that he's been putting on, but we just have to hope for the best as far as Taker doing it. From what I hear, that's the lineup. It's going to be Punk versus Taker if Taker can do it. I guess if he can't, they'll just make it a triple threat for the WWE title or something. Rebel X Youth 82. If you could book Mania 29, how would you do so? I'd do Jericho Ziggler, Swagger Cesaro, Barrett Christian, Daniel Bryan Del Rio, Ryback Big Show, Brock Taker, Sheamus Orton, Rock Cena Punk. That sounds pretty damn good to me. I would like to see really, there's a lot of stuff you could do that I would enjoy watching as a fan. Sheamus Orton is an easy one. I would definitely go with that. Jericho Ziggler, Swagger Cesaro sounds pretty awesome to me. Barrett Christian, that would be fine. Daniel Bryan Del Rio could be a good match there. Ryback and Big Show, I don't know about that one. You could do Ryback versus Brock Lesnar. That would be crazy. Probably not the best match ever, but the hype would be good. And Taker versus Rock could be entertaining. Taker versus Punk. Taker versus Cena could be entertaining. So they have a lot of options. I mean, it would be tough for me to say which one I would like to see the most or anything like that, but because I'm trying to think if it would be what would help the company in the long run or what I would just personally like to see. What I would just personally like to see would probably be Taker versus Brock. Eagle with Tourette's 19. If you were in control of WWE, what would you do to improve the quality of the programming? And perhaps you should make the video in numbered parts. Had several advantages. You can upload faster, plus take a pee between takes. I know, but I'm so crazy about just doing the whole thing in one sitting. As far as the upload goes, I could not record this whole video in one sitting. But as far as the upload goes, I just like making the Q&A one part instead of like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I like the whole thing being in one video so that people can watch it, and if they don't want to sit through the whole thing, they can pause it, come back later, something like that. It does take a lot longer to upload though, but I pulled it off once. I think I can do it again, so I just have to be patient while it's uploading. And if I was in control of WWE, what I would do to improve the quality is not make everything so scripted. The guys I trust, I would let them go out there and do their own thing. Guys like CM Punk, The Rock, Cena, you don't need to script things for these guys. Maybe you do for Cena, I don't know. But he seems to be able to go off the top of his head out there pretty good. So maybe a little less scripting. Maybe let the guys have a lot of control in what happens in the actual matches. Make it feel like this is a wrestling show where anything can happen instead of a generic, nice, clean, and smooth PG show where everything is planned out real nice, and if someone gets busted open, we cut away so no one has to see any blood. I would change all that shit. I would fire absolutely every single writer they have and start using guys like Heyman and Jim Cornette and people who have a good mind for the business. That's what I would do. Brian Games Master, what's your favorite chips and what kind of soda do you drink? I don't drink soda anymore. I'm strictly water. Milk I'll drink. I'll drink juice. But when I did drink soda, Sprite. I was a Sprite guy because I don't like a lot of caffeine, I guess. I don't drink coffee or anything like that when I can avoid it unless I absolutely have to have some coffee. But I don't drink coffee every day or anything. And favorite chips would have to be those pizza Pringles, sour cream and onion Pringles, sour cream and onion chips in general, Doritos. Awesome 386ful. Who's your best subscriber that supports you the most? Oh man, that's a really tough question there. Put me on the spot. I don't know. I appreciate all of my subscribers equally, but I have to say that when I was first starting my channel, and I think I had less than 100 subscribers, maybe 50 subscribers, Jericho Rocker 1234 definitely helped me out. He put me over in his videos a lot. I have to appreciate him for that. He would watch all my videos, like the videos, comment on my videos. So that definitely helped me grow my channel up. Still talk to him on YouTube. The British Fist guys, when they put me over in their 2,000 subscriber shout out video, that really helped me out a lot. LV5454 put me over in his best YouTube wrestling reviewers of 2012 video, and I appreciate that. So I have a lot of subscribers who have helped me out by watching the videos and giving me plugs and stuff in their own videos and things. So I can't really say who's my best subscriber that supports me the most. I appreciate everybody. Even subscribers who don't really like the videos every time or leave comments or anything. Just watching the videos, I appreciate it. I'm glad I made videos you enjoy. But anyways, that is the last question. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Q&A. I'm not entirely sure how long this is going to be. It's probably close to 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 30 minutes. About the same as the first Q&A. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun doing this. I appreciate all the questions, and I'm going to do another one at 700. So thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, I will make another channel update video in the future where you can leave those questions for the 700th Q&A. So you don't have to like feel that you need to leave them on this video or anything like that. I will definitely do that in the future when it's closer towards the time for me to do the Q&A. It's kind of like a reminder, like, hey, I'm going to do another Q&A soon. So anyways, yeah, that's my Q&A. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.